haven't put a person on a treadmill in over 7 years.
Awesome.
And it's crazy, it's crazy because like I've had some people lose like up to 33 pounds in 3 weeks without touching a machine, without getting on a cardio machine at all. So it's enlightening.
That's awesome. Hey, where can people find you?
People can find me at coachyari.com.
Okay.
And that's COACH, Yadi is YARI.com. And they can also find me in LA if they live here. I train people out of Venice on a personal level. And the other great thing that I'm doing is I created a retreat in Hawaii that's happening in March and May. And
that's awesome.
Spots are actually almost sold out. So, hopefully, you'll get to this before they're sold out because it's going to be an amazing experience. And it's called the Soul Discovery Retreat. Where you really kind of get to find yourself and find your happiness, because truly I feel like that when you're connected to your spirit, when you're connected to your soul, that's how you shed the weight, when you're more in alignment and in tune with who you are. And I think that that's a more sustainable way of doing things. So yeah, it's exciting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So dealing with the soul and spiritual stuff, is that definitely like an aspect, obviously, of the soul?
Of the Soulbody Method, absolutely. It's like, I help people align their body, mind, and soul together in one. And the way that I do it, too, I have a method of I kind of have these 7 steps that I teach people. And I'll share with you one of the steps that I teach is for people to declare their dreams to the universe.
Okay.
And when they do that, they actually start getting it out of their head and onto paper. And so they're starting to kind of calm down and feel into it. And then when they start believing in themselves and things like that, they can begin to even notice the negative or limiting beliefs that come up for them. And when that happens, then I help them break through that, because usually it's the limiting beliefs that stop us from accomplishing things, and usually that's what also keeps our weight on as well, because the body is simply a reflection of how you're feeling inside. And if you're feeling stuck, dense, stagnant, well, your body is also going to reflect that in a heavy kind of an outfit. For me personally, I was, when I was growing up, I was very wounded in many different aspects of my life.
Yeah.
And I was bullied when I was a kid and all that stuff. So I didn't quite develop the heaviness simply because I worked out, but I decided to bodybuild and create this, very kind of dense appearance so that I could appear to be strong when deep inside I was weak. And so that's just another layer. And so it's until we love ourselves and break through that we're actually going to be able to keep the rest of the stuff, because nutrition and exercise can only do so much, and it's going to be short-lived if you don't address the internal conflicts that you might be having on the inside.
Yeah, like self-talk, right? Like, you're like telling yourself, oh, I'm fat, or I'm this, and if you constantly tell yourself that, then
that's what you become.
Yeah, exactly. How are you ever going to be successful, right?
Right, exactly. And it's, it's kind of like looking at yourself. I think if people can do this whenever they find themselves in those negative thought patterns, because, you create your reality based on what you think. And if you tell yourself consistently, I am fat, oh my God, look at this love handle here, oh, look at that cellulite, and constantly criticizing yourself, there's nothing joyful to feel about that. And so therefore your body will also respond to that in that way. Cortisol levels go up, and so it actually manifests in a physiological way, just with your thoughts alone. So if people can at least make peace with where they're at, I'm not asking a person to just be, glorified and fully in acceptance necessarily if they don't feel that way, but if they can find the little things that, let's say they started working out, a week ago.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking, oh my God, I have so much to go, I'm not there yet, right? And I'm still so fat and this blouse still fits me this way. If somebody can make peace with where they're at and say, I actually feel better. than I did a week ago. My energy level's up, and I may not be exactly where I want to be, but I understand that this is a process, and if I continue to do this, then I'll be able to actually achieve where I want to go. And so it's to continuously acknowledge where they're at. If a person grabs their pair of skinny jeans, for instance, right? Like a woman grabs her skinny jeans, or a man puts on the belt and it still doesn't fit, and they're like, you know, looking at themselves how they failed, then, you know, they're not going to want to go much further because they're already self-criticizing and putting themselves down, and that has a whole trickle effect. However, if they decide to get something maybe in their closet that used to fit them a lot bigger, and they try that on, then they can see, oh wow, this is how I used to be, and if I can do that, I can do more. So they're more motivated, more inspired to do those things. And it's also